He repaired her shattered ship, and she his broken soul. The human stood alone in the ruins of the desert hangar, dust curling around his boots. Above him, half buried in scorched sand and smoke, was the wreck of something not made by human hands. A ship, silver, crescent-shaped, and bleeding light from its torn hull. Inside it, something moved. The crash. They said nothing ever came down in the Zeta Waste except death and sandstorms. But when the ship fell from the sky that night, Captain Rian Vale couldn't ignore it. He had nothing left to lose anyway. A war had taken his squad, his home, his reason to keep breathing. Still, when he heard the groaning metal and saw a dim blue glow through the dust, instinct took over. He climbed into the wreckage, and that's when he saw her. She was no human. Pale skin, hair like liquid light, her armor cracked and her pulse faintly flickering beneath her collarbone. Her eyes opened, silver, frightened, and fierce. "Don't touch the core," she rasped. "It's unstable." "You'll die before it explodes," he replied, kneeling beside her. "So let me help." The repair. For 3 days and nights, he worked on her ship. He scavenged metal from drones, rerouted power cells, and stitched circuits with trembling fingers. Each time he returned to the crash site, she watched him, weak, silent, her silver eyes unreadable. He spoke to fill the emptiness. About his past, his failures, his ghosts. She never interrupted. Until one night, while he slept against the hull, she said softly, "Why do you help me, human?" He didn't open his eyes. "Because someone once helped me when I didn't deserve it." A pause. Then she said something in her tongue. Quiet, melodic. Later he learned it meant, "You repair what you cannot see." The connection. Her name was Saren of the Orleans, an explorer cast out from her own fleet. She had come to study Earth's scars, its wars, its ruins, to understand how a species so broken still endured. But her mission ended in fire. Together, they rebuilt the ship. And somehow, in the process, they rebuilt each other. When she smiled for the first time, faint and uncertain, Rian forgot for a moment that she was from another world. "When you look at me," she asked, "do you see a monster?" He shook his head. "No, I see someone trying to live. Just like me." The storm. On the final night, a sandstorm howled across the desert. The ship's engines pulsed weakly, ready to launch. But sensors flashed red. A human patrol had detected the crash site. If they found Saren, they'd dismantle her tech and her. Rian picked up his old rifle, the one he swore he'd never use again. "You have to go now," he said. "And leave you? You'll die if you stay. I'll buy you time." Her eyes shimmered like lightning in the storm. "You repaired my ship," she whispered. "Let me repair you." The battle. The soldiers came in waves, 10, 20, 30. Rian stood his ground, firing through smoke and wind, his coat whipping like torn wings. He was bleeding, staggering, but still fighting when the air behind him exploded in blue light. Saren stepped out of the storm, armor reforged, eyes blazing. The hum of a repaired ship filled the air, alive again. She raised her hand, and the wind bent to her will. Bolts of plasma tore through the attackers. The storm screamed. When it was over, only silence remained. Rian fell to his knees, his body failing, his pulse fading. The farewell. Saren caught him as he fell, holding his head to her chest. Her voice trembled. "You can't die here," she whispered. "You gave me my sky back." He smiled weakly. "Guess I fixed one more thing." Her tears glowed, falling onto his wounds. They burned, then healed. His pulse steadied. His breath returned. "What did you—" "My people call it a life bond," she said softly. "Now, part of me lives in you." The departure. At dawn, the ship rose into the golden light. Saren stood in the open hatch, looking down at the man who had saved her. "You repaired my ship," she said, "but I think I repaired something greater." "My soul?" he asked, smiling. "No," she said, smiling back. "Your purpose." The engines roared. She left, a silver comet vanishing into the dawn. Rian stood beneath the rising sun, hand on his chest where a light had touched him, the faint pulse of alien warmth beating beside his human heart.